Peace and love, Black family. Peace, peace, peace. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is none other than the Prince of Pan-Africanism. It's been so long since I've done a Facebook Live. My goodness, I think it's been months since I've done a Facebook Live. So shout out to everybody. It's good to see you. I am here. New Jersey, stand up. I am in the Brick City, Newark, New Jersey. It's going down this afternoon at Newark Tech, Newark Technical College, 400 Hawthorne Avenue. Be in the building. Doors open up at 2. Opening acts at 4. King Kong Consciousness will take the stage at 4:30. All children are free, 17 and under. All elders are free, 65 and older. Get your tickets right now, DrUmarJohnson.com. Newark, New Jersey. Come on out for the message of the decade. Oh yes, we're going to talk about school to prison. We're going to talk about black male-female relationships. We're going to talk about contradictions in the conscious community. We're going to talk about police genocide. We're going to talk about the 2020 election. Come on down. Trenton, New Jersey, stand up. Camden, stand up. Willingboro, stand up. Jersey City, stand up. Patterson, stand up. Montclair, stand up. Elizabeth, stand up. It is a New Jersey Sunday. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is most definitely in the building. Today is the Black Parent Teleconference. I haven't done this in a long time. Okay, I'm very, very busy. A lot to do. As you all know, we've acquired the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy. We have achieved our first goal of acquiring the school. It is in Wilmington, Delaware. 4 modern, beautiful buildings, but they must be renovated. 4 modern, beautiful. 4 modern. Don't be disrespectful, Dave. Okay, if it's a high school, it's a high school. Watch your mouth, brother. Don't get disrespectful. If there's a correction that need to be made, make the correction. I don't do disrespect. I will block your ass. Let's be humble with it. But anyhow, as that relates, brothers and sisters, we've acquired the school, okay? And I need your donations so we can begin the restoration. We need your donations in order to begin the restoration. Please get on your phone. Get on your phone right now and make your donations. Get on your phone right now on the Cash App and Cash App our young men some money so we can fix this school. Cash App the future of black males so we can fix this school. Cash App an end to ADHD. Cash App an end to emotional disturbance. Cash App an end to the reading disability and the math disability. Cash App an end to the psychological genocide that takes place every day in America's public, private, parochial, independent, and charter schools. The handle is $FDMG School. The handle is $FDMG School. Or the full link is cash.me/$FDMG School. The full link is cash.me/$FDMG School. If you have a question about your children, today is the day for questions about the children. Call in 857-232-0158. 857-232-0158. 857-232-0158. The access code is 870-864-POUND. 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 Before we get into the questions from the parents, and I'll be calling into the line in just a minute, I want to call forth some libations. Call on the ancestors. That's what we do. In African culture, the ancestors are our angels. They are empowered by Almighty God to assist us. They are the first line of intervention. They are the first line of defense. God doesn't work, for us. God works through us. God works through the ancestors, the Loas, the Abusams, the Netters, the righteous, God-given, God-created, God-controlled spirits of the universe. So I just want to do some libation today to call on the ancestors, because I thank God for sending the ancestors into my life. Shout out to Senegal. I just got an invitation to return to Gorée Island. There's going to be a Pan-African conference in Gorée Island, Senegal, the exact place where Dr. Umar Johnson experienced his spiritual revolution the last week of July 2005 while I was in the Gorée Island slave dungeon on assignment from the UNIAACL, the greatest of associations founded by the greatest of black leaders of the 20th century, the most honorable, the mostest honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. So I want to say Ashe, and I want to start by calling on the feminine energies. I want to call on the feminine energies. Okay, I want to call on Mother Earth, Ashe, and Mama Yemoja of the salt water, and Mama Oshun, Ashe, Mama Water, Ashe, Ashe. I want to call on our female ancestors. Well, let me start with mine, and that's my Selah, my Jenny, and my Betsy, and Grandmom Young Betsy, and Grandmom Annie, and Grandmom Caroline, and Grandmom Vivian, and Grandmom Ida, and Cousin Shanique, and Grandmom Gertrude, and Grandmom Curly, and Grandmom Anna, and Grandmom Dilly, and Grandmom Eileen, and Grandmom Betty, and little cousin Nancy, Ashe, Ashe. Call on the masculine, Father Bailey, and Grandpop Stephen, and Grandpop George, Ashe, Grandpop Cicero, Ashe, Uncle Clifford, Ashe, Grandpop Charlie, Ashe, Robert Shoemake Jr., Robert Shoemake Sr., Ashe, William Thomas Tillman, Ashe, Isaac Johnson, Uncle Eric, Uncle Dennis, Ashe, Baba Taharka, the OBM, Ashe, Big Brother Clifford, Ashe. Call on the spirit of Nat Turner, Ashe, and Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Ashe. Call on the spirit of Bookman Dada, Makandal. I call on the spirit of Patrice Lumumba, Ashe, and Kwame Nkrumah, Ashe. And I call on the spirit of Henry Highland Garnett and Martin Delaney, whose birthday we celebrate tomorrow, along with my eldest daughter. My eldest daughter and the grandfather of Pan-Africanism, both born on May the 6th. I visited his grave last week in Ohio, Ashe. I call on the 187,000 black soldiers of the Civil War. Says I got a low connection available. I think we rolling. Okay, so let me go to the lines. Let me dial up. We only going to 10 o'clock today, so let me not waste no time. Let me not waste 857-232-0158. First hour, calls about the children only. Second hour, you can ask me whatever you want. First hour, calls about the children. Second hour,
the conference has not started. If you are the
you can
host,
ask me whatever you want.
Your 4-digit host code. We will now connect you to your call. There are 2 attendees of this conference. The host has joined the conference.
Okay. We got 2 attendees on the conference. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Ouch. Give it a few more minutes for a few more parents to get on the line before I start taking the calls. Let me also say we will be filming for the Shockumentary, the documentary of the year next month. We will be filming for the Shockumentary, the documentary of the year next month. Come out today to Newark Tech, and you can fill out an interview request form. If you live in New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C. New York is right across the water, so y'all could come on out to New York, fill out an interview request form. If I get some strong testimonials from New York, I may interview some New York people for the documentary as well. Okay? Ashe on that. Also, if you are an artist and you would like to perform your artistic song. If you are an artist and you want to perform your conscious hip hop, if you are an artist and you want to perform your poetry or spoken word live, a cappella, without music, you must email me a video file of you performing the song. I don't need to see all the theatrics. I just need to hear you and see you. You ain't got to be all dressed up or none of that. Take out your iPhone, spit your song, the whole thing, sing it a cappella, spit your rap, the whole thing, rap it a cappella, spit your poem or your spoken word, the whole thing, a cappella, no background music, because when we videotape you, you will be outside in the community, organic, natural, no background music. So if you can't rap without the music, if you can't sing without the music, you cannot perform in the documentary. But what you can do, okay, is you can send in your music, the original file as well as the instrumental. We need the original score as well as the instrumental. Email that to DrUmarJohnson@yahoo.com, and we will feature you in the documentary. That's the instrumental, as well as on the soundtrack. This is as serious as it gets. I'm currently scheduling for interviews. Don't get lost in the sauce. If you were not able to make it out this past Thursday to our sold out event in Capitol Heights, Maryland, email me a summary of your testimonial. So you have 3 ways to be in the shockumentary. Way number 1, you can be interviewed, giving your story, your testimonial about the war against black boys. Number 2, you can perform a song, a rap, a piece of poetry, or a spoken word piece. You can perform. You can be videoed. You will appear in the documentary. That's the second way you could be in the documentary. The first way is to be interviewed. The third way you can be in the documentary is by submitting some music. The original score with your voice and then the instrumental. The original score with your voice and then the instrumental. Email that to DrUmarJohnson@yahoo.com. Deadline for the music is June 1st. Deadline for the music is June 1st. The shockumentary soundtrack will be the hottest mixtape of the summer. For my sisters out there, if you have a very sexy feminine voice, I need some sisters to do some voiceovers with me on the interludes, the skits that will connect the songs on the shockumentary. There will be ADHD skits. There will be racism skits. There will be black love skits. I need some sexy sisters for the skits. I need a couple brothers too with strong masculine voices for the skits as well. So I'm about to go to the phone lines. It's been so long since I've been on Facebook Live. It's been so long since I did the Black Parent Teleconference. And the way we do this is I ask who has a question. And when I say that, I want you to give me the name of your city, where you're calling from. We'll do it by cities. So I'm going to go to the line right now. If you have a question, please give me the name of your city right now. Anyone with a question on the line, give me the name of your city. Anybody on the line with a question? Anybody on the telephone with a question right now? All of you on the consult line. Who has it? Say that again, sister.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay, we got Buffalo, New York. Any other person with a question? Give me the name. I don't want your name. I want the name of your city. Who else has a question on the line this morning? Anyone else with a question on the line this morning? Going once? Going twice? Okay, we're going to go with Buffalo. Peace and love, black woman. Go right ahead with your question.
I have a question regarding my son's current IEP. He's currently in a class of 611. They're going to increase him to a class of 1211. And the IEP is stating on that they want to increase social and social interaction. My biggest thing was more academics, and they were like they're still going to focus on that because they want him to start socializing a little bit more with other kids. Should that be noted in the IEP? Because I don't want his academics to fall behind.
Okay, I got a question for you. You said 611 and you said 1211. Are you speaking of 6 students to 1 special ed teacher and 1 special ed aide? Is that the 611? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What grade is your son in?
He's in kindergarten.
He's in kindergarten and he's already in special ed. Okay. What is his disability classification?
Speech. He has a delay in speech.
Okay, so he's a speech and language impaired only, correct? Okay, SLI. If he is speech and language impaired only, why is he going into a special ed class? Speech and language students get speech therapy. They don't necessarily go into a special ed classroom. He should be in the regular class only, getting pulled out by the speech pathologist for speech therapy. Why is he in a special ed class in kindergarten? Why is he in special ed for speech? Because speech kids don't go into a class. Speech is special ed. Okay, it is special ed, but you don't go into a class. You just get the therapy. So I guess I'm wondering, why is your son in a separate class for speech?
His speech was very delayed. He wasn't communicating on his level when we got to kindergarten.
Okay.
The academics were there, but he wasn't actually communicating with the teachers and stuff like that. So that's why they had the class.
Okay. So what class is he in? Because there really isn't a speech support class. So is he in a learning support class? I'm assuming he's in learning support with the learning disabled students. Okay. I'm also assuming that he received speech and language services as a preschooler through the early intervention program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I got a couple problems here. Number one, I got a problem with him being in a separate class in kindergarten. I got a big problem with that. If he needs social support, if they need to increase his social support, then that can be done by pulling him out of the regular class and giving him social skills instruction, which can be done in collaboration with the speech pathologist. The speech pathologist can also help him work on his communication skills. I'm not comfortable with a kindergartner being in a special ed class at all, and I'm extremely not comfortable with a speech and language impaired child being in a special ed class, because that's not what we generally do. If he needs social skill development, what better place to give him that than in the regular education classroom? Am I making sense to you?
Yes.
Because you said that his academics are okay. And if his academics are okay, by him spending time in this special ed class, his academics may start to take a hit because he's missing out on the regular education classroom instruction. You see, speech is one thing, learning. Kindergarten in a special ed class for speech? This might be the first time I heard of this. I don't like it. I would probably let him finish out because the year is almost over. But for next year, my son is going to be in a regular class. If it's me, my son goes into a regular class. He can get pulled out for the social skills training. He can get pulled out for the speech and language support. He can get pulled out for that. But, he can get pulled out for that, but he's not going to be in no special ed class in kindergarten. I mean, they fast tracking him within the school to prison pipeline. Excuse me for one moment. I need everybody to mute their phones. People are talking on my line. Somebody has me on speaker. Mute your phone. I should not be hearing myself. Mute your phones, please. Okay. I'm not sure if that's a jackass on the call this morning. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I thought we had a coon with us. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, that was where my concern was, because they're just promoting social, and like he's a very social kid, but he's by himself mostly, so I don't mind that. But they're like, oh, we want to increase his social, and I'm like, I want to focus on his academics though.
But see, they can increase his social, but not to the detriment of his academics. See, I always ask parents the question, what is so special about special education? And when I ask that question, part of what I'm asking is, what do you expect to get out of special ed? So if you take your son's case, they're saying they want to work on his social skills. What are you doing that is so great in the learning support class? What are you doing that is so great in the learning support class that it requires my son to miss out on regular instruction? That's the question you should have. at the next IEP meeting? What are you guys doing? Training by the learning support teacher, okay, but he is not going to be, does he report to the special ed class in the morning? Is he self-contained? Is that where he is all day?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Nah. A child with a speech and language impairment is in special ed all day. In fact, you might even have a compensatory education case. They might even owe you comp ed, because I don't think a hearing officer in the United States is going to decide in favor of a school district that took a kindergarten boy, put him in special ed all day for only having a speech and language impairment, which normally only results in speech therapy, and excluded him from the classroom the whole year. They owe you 1 year's worth of comp ed, money that can be used towards paying for private social skills training. So you might want to push I mean, it's up to you. You might say it's only been a year, I'm not going to push the issue, but technically you do have a case to call an IEP meeting and demand compensatory education for your son who was unnecessarily special educated the whole year. They owe you reparations. So consider that. You can always contact me for a private consultation to speak more about this. You might want to let him finish the year so he doesn't get shocked. The year is almost over anyway. But I'm calling an IEP meeting at the end of the year, over the summer, or the first week of school, and I'm telling them I want my son exited from the full-time class. He can remain under the special ed umbrella so he can get his speech therapy. He can remain under the special ed umbrella so he can get his social skills training as a pull-out, which should only be no more than 90 minutes a week. No more than 90 minutes a week for the social skills training. Full-time class. I suspect they did that to get that special ed money, because you get more money if the kid is in a full-time class. I also think they might have did that to make sure the teachers have enough students in their class to justify their position.
Yeah, I can see that, especially because we're in a smaller district in Buffalo. We're not in Buffalo Public, we're in Cheektowaga, which is like the suburbs.
Okay. Well, make sure you stay in contact with me. You have my cell number?
Yes.
Okay, so again, I would let the year roll out, but you might want to go ahead and call an IEP meeting now and let them know that when he comes back for next year, full-time regular ed class. Okay, it doesn't make any sense for your son to be in a special ed class for a speech problem without a learning problem. Remember, special ed is only for children who have a disability and who need special ed in order to make academic progress. If your child doesn't have a problem learning, they should not be in a special ed class. Okay, you must have a disability and you must have a problem learning. This is where a lot of black parents mess up. A lot of black parents think just because you have a disability, that means you go to special ed. No, it does not. You must have a disability and you must demonstrate a need for the service because you have trouble learning. If you don't have trouble learning, I don't care how many disabilities you have. If you don't have trouble learning, you should not be in a special ed class. All right. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. We're going to go to the next person. Please, brothers and sisters, make your donations. Go to your Cash App and make your donation to $FDMG School, $FDMG School. We're trying to get the buildings fixed up by the end of summer, and we need your support. Or you can mail your check or money order payable to FDMG Academy to P.O. Box 9634. Wilmington, Delaware, 19809, 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Do we have another question on the call this morning? Do we, mute your phones, please. Do we have another question on the call this morning? Anyone else on the line? Yes. Where are you calling from, sister? Tallahassee, Florida, did I hear?
Yes,
Go right ahead, sister.
Well, I have a concern with my 3-year-old. It's about a month ago. She had told me that she was touched inappropriately by her father or whatever. and I really didn't know how to make, because I'm just like, she's still on pull-ups or whatever.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, maybe, okay, he's just changing her pamper, her pull-up or whatever. Does she really know at that age that she's really being touched? And plus, my daughter's very intelligent too, so I'm just like, what should I be doing?
Well, first of all, yes, a child at 3 can know that they're being sexually abused. Remember, we're all spirits that have reincarnated from heaven. So although the body is young, the spirit is very aged and wise. So the spirit of a child can know that they're being inappropriately touched. But here's my question. How exactly did your daughter communicate to you that her father inappropriately touched her? And the reason I'm asking you, how did she communicate this? Because there's a such thing known as false memories. When I was working on my doctorate degree, I did a research paper on false memory. Children have a very active imagination. It is extremely active, and it can be easily influenced by what they're told by adults. Children have a natural desire to please the adults in their lives. Children have a natural desire to please the adults in their life. So if you ask the question in a way that invites a certain response, the child will give you the response that they think they want you to hear, because children love to please the adults in their life. This is why when people suspect child sexual misconduct, I think it's very important that we be careful how we ask questions, because any leading question can induce a false answer, and the child will then create in their imagination a new narrative out of the lie. And the child can traumatize themselves with the new narrative that they created in a response where they sought to get the approval of the person asking the question. This is a fact, that a child can be traumatized by a lie that has been planted in their memory. So how did you ask her, or how did she communicate to you that her father touched her?
Okay, well, I just gave her a bath, and she was laying just around me playing, and then she looks at me and she says, "Mommy, I hurt down there. I'm hurting down there." And so I just laid her across me, and I was like, I just opened her legs and looking at me out to a point me where it hurt. And I mean, not to be too graphic, but she pointed to her like clitoris, like area, and she was like, "God touches me right there."
Okay.
I was like,
Did you consider taking her to the pediatrician to see if anyone had in fact touched her? Not that doesn't.
Immediately, well, first I had called her father up, which I don't know why I did that, and then I called her pediatrician because it was late at night on this particular day. And I called the after hours nurse care and let her know what was going on, and then she was like, "You need to get her to the hospital." So I got her to the hospital, and of course they're gonna go through their regular, what they do, they call police and do a statement, and then she went to the, they checked her, and they did see that she has irritation in that area. But then he was like, she had a UTI as well. That could have triggered it while she had irritation in the area. And he asked me, he was like, "When the last time she put her father?" I was like, "But she put her father a week ago."
So you and the father don't live together?
Like the last year, so it was like the week prior that she had been with him or whatever.
Okay. Would he have needed at all? Is she potty trained?
Yeah, she actually is potty trained. I only put, she still likes to be on the cup. I put her on a 360 cup because she likes to look at night. And so at night I put her on the pull up because she peed in my bed too much. I'm like, So she's actually fully potty trained. She actually really does not even wear any pull-ups, but when she's finna go to sleep.
Okay. There's really not a reason why a man needs to touch a child in the genital area unless they had such an accident, a number 2 type of accident, and they're still on Pampers, where they might need to wipe some of that out to prevent a yeast infection if the child had the runs or something. But generally speaking, there's not a need to go anywhere near a child's vagina. That's the only thing that has me concerned. However, it could have been also been a UTI as well. You know, for me, see, here's where a mother's instinct comes into play a little bit, and what you feel, because I would not want to keep a father from his daughter in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I do think you're going to have to put some sort of controls in place, okay, for you to get a better idea of what's being done when she's with the father. The two of you are not together, correct?
Right, we're not together, and then we have a court order. So
well, see, here's my concern. Here's my concern. Is it possible that it wasn't the father who touched her down there, but someone who was around when she was in the father's custody? In other words, is it possible that the father left your daughter with his sister or with his cousin while he went to work or while he ran to the store? Is it possible that someone else in the father's family touched your daughter and not the father? That's my biggest concern.
Oh, no, because he doesn't have any family. Like, where we live, he has zero family. He don't, like, really fool people like that. And so he really works around the clock. And so when he comes home, he has her. It's just them two.
Well, here's how you deal with it.
Like that.
Here's how you deal with it.
I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, I can't think of anybody else. I don't have men around me. I don't think my daughter's been around more than anybody. It's really my mother, besides her going to school. And so I was just like, just coming from a family where people have gotten violated, immediately I was like, at first I was like, oh no, My mind really took me to a place I was like, man, something going on, you're going to jail. I just something that I do not tolerate.
Okay. Here's what you do. You simply tell him that he cannot go down there. If there's any reason why he feels he needs to go down there, he needs to call you first. That's it. Make it off limits. If she's potty trained,
I tried to have a conversation with him, and then immediately he just went very ignorant.
Well, he could have been defensive.
And,
he could have been defensive.
And they calling me, and police calling me, and because they ended up closing the case because they was like they couldn't interview her. They was like she's too young to be interviewed. Okay,
he could have been defensive because no man wants to be accused of touching his own child, but men do touch their own children. So he could have been defensive, or he could have been guilty. All you can do now is see if it happens again. But I would also make sure he's clear that it's off limits. He is not to touch your daughter in the vagina area at all, period. That's the new rule. You don't touch her down there. If you see something that is draws your attention, you call me and I'll go down there. But I need you not to go down there because I'm concerned. I come from a family where the women have been touched. That's the rule I need you to adhere to. He shouldn't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
All right, Queen.
Okay, and then what signs should I be looking for in regards to my daughter? Because my daughter, she is crazy about her father. Even when she was telling me that it happened,
right.
An hour later, she wanted to go to her father's house. Hey.
Well, I don't want you to be hyper vigilant. See, we got to make sure. Just be on watch. Tell him not to touch her down there no more. And if he does, then he might can't see her no more. That's the bottom line. He cannot go in the vaginal area for any reason at all. If he suspects anything, he needs to call you. I would leave it at that. If he goes down there again, he can't see my child.
Now, how should I do that in regards to court? Because, I mean, immediately I was like, he couldn't see her until I had spoke to the investigator or whatever. And then DCF was like, well, I would suggest not, her not going right now until we kind of get some things figured out or whatever. And then, so happened we had to court like 3 days after that. And he brought it up to the judge, and the judge immediately started attacking me. And I was like, hey, what is going on here? I'm only going with my daughter just
right.
That's what she told me.
Well, let me do this.
So he made like I was trying to do some retaliation. I'm like,
Right.
Well, ain't no reason why I'm mad at you. We don't even really talk like that.
Right.
So,
Well,
I
let me
mean,
say this. Let me say this,
guys
Queen.
get
Let me say this because I got to move to another parent. But I want to say this with the court situation. If you explain to them what's going on, they will be sympathetic to you. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the reasons why we as black people got to stop going to white people to solve our domestic issues. It's an absolute embarrassment that the same people who enslaved us, we run back to them, asking them to negotiate or determine how our family should be run. It's an absolute disgrace and an insult to our ancestors. But with that being said, all you got to do is write a letter to the judge. Get the judge's name and address. Write a letter to the judge in advance of the hearing. Write a letter to the judge. Let them know exactly how you're feeling. And sometimes that letter from you to the judge will affect the outcome of your request.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Queen. And I will be in Florida. I will be in Jacksonville, Florida on Friday, August the 30th. And I will be in Orlando, Florida on Saturday, August the 31st. You can get the tickets
I got to get there.
at DrUmarJohnson.com.
Like 2 hours away from Jacksonville.
Yeah, come on out. Friday, August 30th, and you can get your tickets on my website.
Okay.
All right, sweetie. Take care and good luck with that. All right. Next question. Is there someone else with a question on the call this morning? Yes. Where are you calling from, sister?
Panama City, Florida.
Okay, also Florida. Go right ahead with your question. I need you to speak a little louder. Your voice sounds very low.
Okay. I just really wanted to call basically this morning because of a situation that happened that cost my daughter her life. She was born with a rare chromosome disorder. Only 150 kids worldwide were born with. Prior to moving to Atlanta, Georgia, she was driving, going to school, wasn't on any medications. We were fine. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia. These doctors had seen that her condition was rare. They admitted us into the hospital. After being there 3 days, I was banned out of the hospital, and they began doing surgeries on her. They brought in the state, which the state, she was state custody. They started doing illegal medical research, removing her organs. And what I'm finding out is they removed her tonsils, where the CDC is able to grow cancer cells, bioweapons like the Ezekiel virus, using her tonsils. The judge, all of these people in Atlanta, Georgia is corrupt to the core. The reason I'm speaking out is because my daughter lost her life. But I also walked away from 30 other black kids that was held in this hospital being used for medical research. No parent, nowhere in sight, all black, and being held behind this glass like they were guinea pigs. This hospital is a huge hospital in Atlanta, and they're very protected. After they found out I knew what they were doing to my daughter, they offered me $12 million to walk away if I signed a letter saying that I gave them rights to her organs, that the money would be sent to an offshore account, and for me to remain confidential. I refused because my daughter was still alive. After my daughter passed away, the state dropped the case, saying no findings. At this point, I'm in a fight, not only against the state of Atlanta, but the government itself, because the CDC has my daughter's organs without me signing any consent, without me losing any of my rights to my child, and what we call medical kidnapping. It's a big risk that I'm taking with my life, speaking out about this. A lady named Nancy Schaefer, a white lady back in 2010, lost her life, speaking about this same situation in Atlanta, Georgia. So I know the risk that I'm taking about, speaking out, but I do want to bring awareness that this does happen, that if you take your kid to a hospital, and if you don't agree with a medical diagnosis, a medical procedure, they will take your kid. If your kid is a rare kid that was born like mine,
with a rare condition, they will remove your kid from you with false allegations of abuse to put them into state custody. And after they're in state custody, they are able to research and treat these kids like they are guinea pigs. My daughter right now is dead and buried. She is missing organs. I'm looking for anybody that could help me. I cannot fight the government by myself. I know what I'm against. I have a lot of attorneys that I reached out to, mostly a lot of black attorney firms. I learned the hard way that these people are scared to go against the government. They are turning the case down because they're finding out that it's the government. But I would not back down. I would not be silent. I'm willing to lose my life to speak out on it.
When did your daughter pass away? When did your daughter pass away? When did your daughter pass away? When did your daughter pass away?
She passed away December 7th, 2017.
Sorry to hear that. Have you ever spoken?
She passed away on 30 different medications. She was oxygen dependent. She had a broken, her hip was totally dislocated. My daughter was not on any medication prior to moving to Georgia. She was missing her lung, and as far as I know, her tongue moved. I was banned. I was drugged out of the hospital and banned out of the hospital as they were performing surgery for my child.
Sorry to hear that, sister. I'm so sorry for your loss.
I went to court. I went in front of the judge. The judge was presenting my Facebook pages where I had started reaching out, trying to get help to pursue this. The judge voluntarily recused herself after she knew I knew what they were doing. So this is a big cover-up in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, this is what I want you to do, Queen. Do you have my cell number?
I do not.
Let me give it to you now. Do you have a pen?
Yes.
The number is 215 989 9858.
Okay. All right. Repeat it one more time so I can make sure I got it. Area code.
215 989 9858.
Phone seems to be breaking up.
989 9858.
The call seems to be breaking up somewhat.
Repeat what you got. Repeat what you have.
Okay, you said 215-985.
No, 989 989
Okay, 989.
9858.
9858. Okay. 215-989-858.
Say it one more time.
215-989-9858.
Correct. That's my cell phone. I'm not an expert in this area, but maybe we could put our heads together and think of some people we can contact to investigate this a little bit better. Perhaps the United States Department of Justice.
A Black National Human Rights Organization that has signed up to work with me in Georgia to help. They had scheduled a press conference. The commissioner, the DeKalb County commissioner, came to that site and shut the press conference down, saying that they did not want this in the public, that they wanted it to be behind closed doors.
Okay.
I was not invited to the closed doors. So it's a lot that goes with this, and a lot of people are scared to approach this. Me, however, I'm not.
I got you, babe.
I would not be silent.
Glad to hear that, and I commend you for your fight. I'm so sorry for your loss, losing a child.
Thank you.
I know that's not easy,
If
but
you read more, you can
text me the
Google
links. Text me the
my
links.
daughter's name.
You have my cell number, so text me some links so I can read up on it. Just text me some links, and my email address is DrUMAR Johnson. DrUMAR Johnson @yahoo.com.
It was a privilege. I'm with you.
Same here.
I'm very passionate. And you can probably tell, and I will be reaching out to you.
Will do, Queen. Thank you. God bless. Enjoy your Sunday.
Thanks.
All right. Wow. That's why we need the shockumentary. This is exactly why we are filming the shockumentary, The Psychoacademic War Against Black Children. Come out today, Newark Tech, 400 Hawthorne Street. Doors open up at 2 o'clock. Jersey, I am here. Get your tickets, DrUmarJohnson.com. Is there another question on the line this morning? Is there another question on the line?
Hi, Dr. Umar.
Peace and love, black man. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Missouri, Dr. Umar.
From where? From where?
Missouri, from...
Missouri. All right, go right ahead.
I just want to take this opportunity because it's my first time. I've been trying to get to you on several occasions to no avail. I don't want to take the time of this important topic that you're discussing, but I just wanted to make sure that I can get to you today so we can talk after this when it's done.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Africa, and I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I've always loved the way you talk, love the ideas that you bring on board for the black people. So it is a privilege, and and I hope I've gotten your number that you just gave to the list. But I think I don't want to take too much of the time of this important topic, so I get people who have real issues that concern the topic and discuss it, and then I can talk to you later on.
Absolutely. Do you have my cell phone, black man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, shoot me a text. I'm speaking today in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, but you could reach out to me tomorrow afternoon. I should be free.
All right. Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you, brother. Peace and love. All right.
Thank you. Peace and love.
Also, just to let everybody know, if you want to go with Dr. Umar Johnson to Africa this summer, to Ghana, we're going from July 25th to August the 4th. You still have time. The trip is $4,200. Everything is included except your spending money and 1 meal a day. I don't make any money off the trip. Mother Sharifa, that's her business. That's her livelihood. So we understand that she does. But if you're interested in going to Ghana, you can text me 215-989-9858, and I will send you the phone number and email that you can reach out to Mother Sharifa. I believe the deadline is June 1st for your deposit. June 1st is not the deadline for your full payment. June 1st is the deadline for your deposit. So this is the last month that you have to sign up to go with Dr. Umar to Ghana, the year of return, the quadricentennial, 400 years later, 1619 to 2019. Do we have another question on the call this morning? Is there another question on the call?
Good morning. My name is Tyra Bradley.
Where are you calling from, Sister Tyra?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. South Carolina. I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina on July the 6th. Charlotte, North Carolina. I know you're in South, but I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, July the 6th. Go right ahead.
Okay, Charlotte's only about 2 hours away from where I am, or 2.5. My son, at the age of 3, was not really diagnosed, but was brought to my attention.
Wait. Start over, babes. I want you to start over with your son, and I want you to speak a little clearer because your words was kind of mumbled. I didn't understand what you said. I just heard my son. Go right ahead.
Okay. My son wasn't really diagnosed, but it was brought to my attention that he had some developmental delays as far as with his speech and some fine motor skills. So we did the early intervention. He's 4 right now. We did the early intervention, and then they put him into an IEP program when he aged out of those at 3. So, excuse me, he was in that class for almost a year before I started seeing, I guess, his mental state decline. as far as because they had disabled children. They also had older kids as well in that same one class. And I didn't feel as if that was right. So I actually I called an IEP meeting, and they told me that they didn't want him to get out of the class because of social and some cognitive. However, on all of the progress reports, they always, and I read probably like 30 pages because I wanted to really understand what was going on, because what they were telling me and what was actually on paper did not add up to me, because they never diagnosed him with a disability or a learning disability. He was socially awkward a little bit, but they wanted him to play with children that had these mental disabilities and physical disabilities. And he is physically fine, he's mentally fine, but it was just that he didn't want to play, so they figured he had like a social problem, and they wanted to keep him in there. I just didn't feel as if it was right, because my thing is, if you want my child to be regular and play with regular children, he's not going to get that if he's in a mentally and physically disabled environment. So they still told me, no, we're going to keep him in here just a little bit longer. And I told them no. So I took him out of school in the middle of the school year. And I'm not sure if that was the best thing, but at the time, I felt that was the best thing. So, like, right now, he's not in school. He was going to, like, a daycare, but they weren't doing any activities or any curriculum-based or nothing. They just had them watching TV most of the day. And then when they weren't watching TV, they were playing inside or outside. So I wasn't really for that, because I'm a single mom and I work full-time, and I need to make sure that my son is going to be okay and will be learning what he needs to learn while I'm not there. Because
you said he's currently not in school, so you said he's currently not in school, so where is he when you go to work?
He is with his grandmother.
He's with his grandmother. He's 4 years old? He's 4?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't, okay, listen up. I don't like the fact that he's with his grandmother in the day. He needs to be in school because he's 4. He needs to be in school because he's 4, because if he doesn't get his foundation, if he doesn't get his basics, they're going to try to push special ed on him once he gets to kindergarten. So I don't like the fact he's not in school. If you don't want the early intervention service, which it sounds like you don't want it, and it sounds like he doesn't need it, all you have to do is refuse it. They cannot force you to give your child early intervention special ed services. They cannot force you. All you have to do is decline the service. But I don't think he needed to be taken out of school for that. I think you should put him back in school.
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, what happened was he was doing the early intervention, and they aged him out at 3. So then they put him.
Whoa. You don't age out at 3. Wait a minute. You said they aged him out at 3. You don't age out at 3.
Yes.
Early intervention begins at 3. Well, that was incorrect. Listen to me. Listen.
Okay.
Special ed begins at 3 years old. Early intervention under the school district's umbrella begins at 3. Now, early intervention under the state, as it relates to the medical doctor, that begins as soon as the child is born if they have issues. But early intervention under the school district, under federal special education, begins at age 3. And it goes to age 21. So there's no way he can age out at 3 because it begins at 3. He may have aged out of early intervention medical services that were provided by the hospital, but he's still within the age for early intervention under the school district. So you might want to contact, was he ever evaluated under the supervision of the school district?
Yes, he was, and that is the PIT program that they put him into.
Okay, but you don't believe he needed it anyway, right? You don't believe he needs it anyway?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Here's the thing. At the beginning, when they told me they wanted to do evaluation when he was 3, I went ahead and did that. They told me he would benefit from it, so I went along with it because anything that would help, I'm all for it. I'm a first-time parent. I really didn't know. So any information I was just asking for so that I could help him. However, this year, probably around March, it was March. I called an IEP meeting again because I saw some advancements and I saw where he was. How do I say that? In school, he was having issues. He started having issues. But outside of school, he's around other children. He would go to daycare after the 3-hour school time. And he had no problems. And then I started to really look into it, and he was having those issues because they had been putting in, I guess, mentally and physically disabled children. And I saw a decline in his to where he was stimulating them. And that's when
Hold that thought, sweetheart. Hold that thought. This is Dr. Umar.
Speaking in matrix to accept this call.
This is Dr. Umar Johnson. How can I help you?
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I just had a question.
Sure.
I wanted to know today's engagement.
Yes.
Is it 2 sessions? It's 2 sessions?
No, ma'am. It's one event. The doors open up at 2 o'clock at Newark Tech, 400 Hawthorne Avenue. The opening acts begin at 4, and I will speak, Dr. Umar Johnson, at approximately 4:30. It's one session. All children are free. All elders are free. The tickets are $20 online or at the door.
Oh, okay. That was my second question. So I can pay at the door as
Yes,
well?
you can.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you there. Thank you.
Will do, Queen. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Queen. I'm back. I mean, listen, as far as your reasoning for why he doesn't need the service, I totally support you. It doesn't sound like it, but we need to get him back in school. Or are they claiming, are they fighting you on this? Are they claiming that he has a problem, or like, are they claiming that he has a problem?
Well, it was a problem when he was in school, and then when I took him out of school, they just let him go. Now, right after I took him out, a week later, he had to do a 4K screening because his birthday is in February, so he would have to be in 4K for next school year. And they told me that he wouldn't be able to come back, until they assessed his screening, and then they would send me a letter in June telling me whether he can come to school or be put in a regular 4K class for next school year. So that's why I'm just like, okay, they won't let me put him in a regular class.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. No. Nah. Okay. The law. They cannot force you to put your child in a special class. If you can refuse that. They can't force you. The only way they can force you to put your child in a special class, they would have to take you to due process. They would have to file a complaint against you with the State Department of Education alleging that your son has a disability, needs support, and you're in denial. The state would then send out a hearing officer. The hearing officer would hear your argument, they would hear the school district's argument, and then they would decide whether or not they agree with you or the school. Only the state can force you to put your child in there. The center can't do that. The school district can't do that. They cannot force you. You just have to stand firm in your position, get him back in the school, preschool, okay, and life goes on. Take my number. Do you have my cell number?
Okay. I got it earlier.
Okay. So just keep my cell number. If we need to speak again, just send me a text message and we can schedule a consultation. But get him back in school. And if you have trouble with enrolling him back in school, you text me and let me know they're not letting you do it, because then we could file a complaint of discrimination against them with the state, with the Department of Justice.
Okay, but get him back in school.
Okay, that sounds awesome, because they made it seem like I couldn't put him back in until
No, and you need to tell them. You need to tell them. You need to tell them that you know you're right. Sometimes we got to let them know we know.
Yes,
You have to tell them it is my right as to whether or not my son goes in that class, and you cannot force me.
Right.
And if you try to discriminate against me for not wanting to put my child in there, then I will sue you, and I will file charges of discrimination against you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate
No
it.
problem, Queen. Good luck with that. Keep me posted.
Thank you. Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Before I go to the next caller, I want to remind everybody that the next parent advocate training, if you want to be a parent advocate, if you want to join the National Independent Black Parent Association, if you want to be a parent advocate, if you want to help us organize and build chapters of the National Independent Black Parent Association, the next training is in Wilmington, Delaware. The next training is in Wilmington, Delaware, June 8th, June 9th. June 8th, June 9th, Wilmington, Delaware, from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. It is 2 days. We normally did one evening and one day, but that's not enough time. I'm doing 2 days, 9 to 5. If you want to learn how to advocate for your child, if you want to join the NIBPA, if you want to become an expert parent advocate, if you want to be trained by Dr. Umar, if you want to work with Dr. Umar, come to Wilmington for the 2-day training. It costs $100 for both days. $100 for both days, which is an extreme discount. The information that you're going to get is worth more than $2,500. You're going to get it all for $100. You can register at DrUmarJohnson.com. You do not have to be a parent. You do not have to be a parent. You just have to be a concerned Black person. You do not have to be a parent. Go to my website, register now, DrUmarJohnson@yahoo.com. DrUmarJohnson@yahoo.com. And you will get a free tour of the Frederick Douglass School. As part of your attending the 2-day conference, you will get a free tour of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Next question. Do we have another question on the call? Is there another question? By the way, it is 9 o'clock. 1 second, Queen. I got you. By the way, it is 9 o'clock. So if anyone has any question at all that they would like to ask of Dr. Umar, whether it has to do with politics, economics, our children, the shockumentary, NIBPA, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, any question whatsoever, you can now call in 857-232-0158, 857-232-0158, and the access code is 870-864-POUND, 870-864-POUND. Good morning, my beautiful African sister. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. Go right ahead with your question.
Dallas, Texas. I called in without knowing if it was topic specific, but I have a question in my mind.
Sure.
I've always listened to you as you're talking about school districts and different schools. So I'm looking for moving to an area. My son starts school in August, and I believe that he's very gifted. He's 5, going into kindergarten, and can read. At one school, they gave us a list of what words are second grade words, and he's very good at reading. My question is, how do you compare schools and school districts? What are the best resources to determine which area to live in to get yourself into a good school?
And where do you, okay.
If finances permit, some areas are more expensive than others.
Well, remember, in the United States of America, my queen, there is no national education curriculum. So if you live in Dallas and let's say you're about to move to Houston, you do have state standards for Texas, but there's no way to determine whether Houston and Dallas, are equitable in terms of instruction and quality of education. You have to literally investigate every individual district and every individual school. Even 2 high schools in the same district can be totally different. You want to visit their website. You want to visit the school district's website to see what grade they get. You want to visit the state website to see what score they get. You want to see whether or not they're making AYP, which is adequate yearly progress, which is a No Child Left Behind measure that evaluates schools based on the quality of education. You want to talk to parents from the school. You want to ask if you can come and sit in the classroom. You really have to do your legwork because there is no objective, unbiased, independent assessment system that is for Black people to determine what schools are best for our children. You're literally going to have to do your legwork.
So you do have permission to sit in a class before your kids are
It depends on the school. Some schools will allow you to, like private schools, because they are for profit. They will allow you to. Public and charter schools might have a little bit more difficulty with that. Some will, some won't, but you can always ask.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. And good luck with that search because it's a lot of work and I know it's not easy. But if you do come across a school and you're not sure about it, I want you to text me because I know a lot of people in Dallas and I will ask around for you. Do you have my cell number?
Okay. I think I wrote it down. It is 857. No, sorry. No.
Let me give it to you.
What is your cell phone number?
215 989 9858. 215 989 9858.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, Queen. No problem. All right. Is there another question on the call today?
Yes, question.
Yes. Where are you calling from?
Albany.
From, you said Harlem? I can't hear you. Speak up, sister. Did you say you calling from Harlem?
I'm calling from Albany.
Albany, New York.
Georgia.
Albany, Georgia. Go right ahead with your question.
I was having a casual conversation with another parent, and she told me that her daughter went the graduation test.
Yes.
And her daughter didn't pass. So she received a certificate of completion. But then that next year, they got rid of that test. And so then they replaced the certificate for a regular diploma. But she told me that she had just heard about it, and then she had inquired in the school, and that's how she was able to get the regular diploma. So the question is, shouldn't the school have notified all those students that received those certificates that they can now come and get a diploma? And is there a limitation on whether or not, when they can, if they could get that replacement?
Wait a minute. Okay, they got a certificate of completion, and then you said that there was a rule that went into effect that said all children with a certificate of completion could trade that in for a regular diploma. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
They had the graduation test. They got the completion, but then the next year they stopped doing the graduation test, and so then you were able to replace, get the diploma. But I think that was if you heard about it, because this parent said she had heard about it and she called the school and she was able to get it. So I don't think they notified.
They probably didn't. They probably didn't notify. They probably didn't because.
Is there a limitation on when you could get that replacement?
That depends on the state law. That depends on the state law. I'm not sure. You would have to contact the State Department of Education in your state and ask them if the deadline has passed or if there is a deadline for children who, previously failed the state graduation test, got a certificate of completion, and are eligible to now get a regular diploma. Only the state could answer that. You should contact the state and then let other parents know what you hear from the state.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sister. And also, you're in Albany, Georgia. How far is Albany from Atlanta?
About 2.5 hours.
Listen to me. I want to put something on your mind. And if you can't, don't worry about it. I don't want to burden you at all. But on June the 2nd, I will be in Atlanta, and I wanted to do a lecture. The Shrine of the Black Madonna is not available. You guys are 2.5 hours away. I wouldn't mind driving to Albany to do a lecture. If you know of a place in Albany, I've never been to Albany, Georgia. If you know of a community center, a black church,
a theater, an event hall that I could use or rent on Sunday, June 2nd, from the hours of approximately 3 o'clock until 10, please let me know, because I want to do something in Georgia, but I'm having trouble finding a venue. It could be in Atlanta, it could be in Albany, it could be in any of the cities in Georgia, Macon, it could be anywhere, Augusta. I'm just having trouble finding a spot. Do you have my cell number, sister?
I do.
Okay, if you come across something that can seat at least 200 to 300 people, let me know, because we only got a couple weeks and I need time to get the word out to the people. So if we can find something this week, that would be great.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, sis. All right, peace and love. Do we have another question on the call this morning?
Yes, sir, Dr. Umar.
Yes, sir. Where you calling from, black man?
Yes, sir, my name is calling from Houston.
Okay, your voice is a little low, black man. I don't know if you're on speaker. Come closer to the phone or turn that volume up.
Yes, sir. Hold on one moment. Yes, sir. I'm calling from Houston.
Houston, Texas. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Houston, Texas. Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask you a quick question. My son, he just turned 8, and he's the only child, and he's the only grandchild on both. So, I guess basically I know that it has a problem with him at school because, like, kids have the imagination, but him being the only grandchild on the child, not to enhance it to another level, and now they want to, they think they all those type of kids talk about, and I don't want to be just like overbearing on him because I know he's still a kid, and I try to discipline him, but I don't want to just be overbearing and whooping him because the mother, I'm the man, so I have to make the discipline. So it's like I don't want to just overbear and whooping them and disciplining them. But I know once I didn't try to homeschool a little bit, he does better here because I can be over him and watching him. But when he gets at school, it's another whole thing. I don't, So I would just want to get your, thoughts on what you think I should do or what as a father, in this situation. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Who is okay? So they're complaining about his behavior. Who is complaining about his behavior?
Well, it's really the teachers. They like he loves being a student, but just.
And what grade is he in? What grade is he?
Yes, sir. He's in the second.
He's in the second grade. Couple things. Number one, you might want to hire. A psychologist, a counselor, a behavior specialist, or a social worker to go into your son's classroom and observe your son in the classroom. We cannot assume that the teachers are telling the truth. As a former school principal, I can tell you teachers exaggerate. Teachers exaggerate, especially the behavior of black male students. So you need to hire someone to go into that classroom and observe the child to see whether or not the teacher is telling the truth. Because when that person observes the class, they might find out that the teacher is exaggerating, or they might find out that there's other kids who are far bigger problems than your son, or they might find out that the teacher is a boring teacher and that's why your son isn't listening, or they might find out that the whole class is out of control. You need a second set of eyes in that classroom. In addition to that, you need to challenge the school and ask them, what is the behavior program in the classroom? In other words, what is the teacher doing to maintain behavior? What are the punishments in the class? What are the rewards? Because here's something that teachers don't like to hear. And whenever I do teacher trainings, I drill this point. And that is the fact that all behavior is a function of where it takes place and the consequences that follow. All behavior is a function of where it takes place and the consequences that follow. So if that teacher isn't doing anything to gain the respect of your son, then it's almost going to be nothing you can do because it's not your classroom. Behavior is a function of where it happens and the consequences. So you got to find out, what are you doing? When my son misbehaves, what are you doing? Or are you exclusively waiting on me to do something when he gets home? I cannot control your classroom for you. What are you doing? Now, with that being said, you do need to have a discipline program at home. And what I mean by that, if he had a bad day at school, he must get a consequence at home that day. If he's in the second grade, it can probably be early bed. Right after you come home, you do your homework, you eat dinner, you go to bed. No toys, no TV, no nothing. Children that age love attention. Attention is the number one punishment. Attention is the number one reward. So you have to come up with ways to deprive your son of attention from everybody when he doesn't have a good day. If he does well, okay, he gets a reward.
Not every day, but at the end of the week. If he has 4 good days out of 5, you might say, listen, son, you give me 4 good days out of 5. Over the weekend, you and daddy go to the movies. You know, y'all go to the weight and lift weights together. You know, y'all go to the science museum. Never use money. Never use expensive gifts. Never use money. Never use expensive gifts. Do pleasurable things that the child wants to do with you. Children love their parents, so spending time with their parents under 5th grade is the best thing that you can do. So you get rewards at the end of the week for meeting a certain criteria, but you get punishments every single day. So we do need a discipline program at the home, but you need to get on that teacher and find out what she's doing in the classroom. And I would recommend you have someone go into the classroom and observe your child. You could just Google Black psychologists, Black social workers, Black counselors, Black social workers where you live, Black behavior specialists, and say, listen, I need you to go into my son's classroom and observe him 3 different days, 3 different times, doing 3 different subjects. So week 1, 8 o'clock reading, week 2, 12 o'clock math, week 3, 2 o'clock social studies. The reason you want 3 different observations is you want to eliminate the chance for one of those observations to not be reliable. If someone observes your child one time and he had a really good day, he might be a misbehaving kid, but he just had a good day. Or they might observe him one time and he had a really bad day. He might be a good kid, but he just had a bad day. That's why you need multiple observations. It shouldn't cost you no more than $200-$300, no more than about $50.75 an hour. Don't pay nobody more than $100. That's overkill. And get that observation. Now, with all that being said, let me say this, and then I'm gonna hear from you again. When is the last day of school for your son? When is the last day of school?
It's like June, like the 6th. It's in June.
Okay. In other words, your son only got 4 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you what I would do if I was you. I would not pay nobody to observe my son this year because the school year is over. The school year is over. If they start this stuff next year, then I would do that. The school year is over. Next year is a new teacher, new class, new classmates. Your son will be a little mature coming back from summer. What I would do is I would sit down with my son. I would create a behavior plan. I would say, listen, son, you got 20 days of school left. 20 days of school. This is what we're going to do. If you give me 15 good days out of those 20, the day after the last day of school, I'm going to take you to an amusement park. Great Adventures, Dorney Park, Wet n Wild, whatever y'all got. That's what I would do. I would do my own behavior plan. I don't want you wasting money and time with this teacher this year because the year is over. There's only 20 days left of school for your son. It is no need for you guys to be putting too much energy and attention into this because next year is a whole new situation. Get him to the finish line. We are at the end of the year. Get your son to the finish line and let's enjoy the summer.
One quick thing before I get you off, because I know you have on the call. One quick thing.
Go ahead.
It just wasn't like about the behavior sex because he's a good child. Like he's running around jumping. It's really just an attention span. And I know you speak on that a lot too. So like I told you, at school is the attention span, even at home because he's the only child. That's why I was trying to let you know. And he's the only grandchild too, both sides. So it enhances his imagination. So it was the attention span. He's really not a bad. It's just the attention. And when I get him home and I go over his work with him and everything, he pays attention. You know, because it's one-on-one with me and I'm a disciplined. I know the teacher really can't do that at school, so that's why it was really the attention. Not just because he's a bad kid, don't want to listen. He's the most well-behaved kid. It's just him, the parent, paying attention.
Okay. I'm going to go back to that behavior plan. I'm going to also say that we have to check to make sure your son is being challenged in the classroom because if the work is too easy, he's not going to pay attention. Most ADHD kids, most ADHD boys are either academically or intellectually advanced and they're bored in the classroom. Most ADHD is boredom. It is boredom. The teachers are boring. The children are too intelligent to sit there for 7 hours a day, listen to a boring teacher who has nothing to teach them. So we have to make sure that this is the son and not the teacher.
Right, okay. And one last thing, I saw your list, on your travel list, there's no Texas. I know that your last 4, no Texas at all, huh?
Well, I'm working on Houston. I should have a Houston date soon.
Houston date soon? Okay, yes, sir. That was it. I just wanted to clarify that too. But I know that the last year.
Will do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. I need everybody to mute their phone. Mute your phones, please. Mute your phones. I'm hearing background noise conversations. Take me off the speaker and mute your phone.
Take me off the speaker and mute your phone. Also, just to let everybody know where I'm going to be before I take the next call, I'm in Newark, New Jersey today. Newark, New Jersey today at Newark Tech, 400 Hawthorne Street. 400 Hawthorne Street in Newark. Doors open up at 2, opening acts at 4, Dr. Umar at 4:30. All children free, all elders free. Tickets are $20 online, also $20 at the door. Come on out, New York. Come on out, New Jersey. Come on out, Connecticut. Come on out, Pennsylvania. I'm also going to be in Hartford, Connecticut, Malcolm X Day. Hartford, Connecticut, Sunday, May the 19th at the Artist Collective in Hartford. It will be my first community power lecture in Hartford, Malcolm X birthday, Sunday, May 19th at the Artist Collective in Hartford. I will be in Selma, Alabama, Sunday, May the 26th at the Selma Center for Truth, Nonviolence, and Reconciliation. The Selma, Alabama Center for Truth, Nonviolence, and Reconciliation, Sunday, May the 26th. It is a free event. It is a free event. There will be a 1 o'clock lecture. There will be a 7 o'clock lecture. It is first come, first serve. Seating is limited. Dr. Umar's first time in Selma. Dr. Umar's first time in Hartford. Then I will be in Seattle with Judge Joe Brown in Seattle at the Seattle City Hall. Shout out to Seattle, Washington. I will be there with Judge Joe Brown and others in Seattle at City Hall on Wednesday, May the 29th. Wednesday, May the 29th. I'm looking for a venue in Georgia, June 2nd, whether that's going to be Atlanta, Macon, Augusta. If you live in Georgia, help Dr. Umar find a venue so I can do a lecture in Georgia, June 2nd. And then June 8th and 9th, Wilmington, Delaware. June 8th and 9th, Wilmington, Delaware for the National Independent Black Parent Association training. Nashville, mute your phones. Mute your phones. Why am I hearing background noise? Please mute your phones. Nashville, Tennessee, June 23rd. Okay, we got a jackass on the line. The coon's, okay, that's not a coon. Is that a coon? I think that's a coon. This is what we're going to do since that's a coon. We got a coon on the line. Is that a coon or is that just somebody who didn't mute their phone yet? You can buy tickets at the door or online. The difference between buying your tickets online is if you buy your ticket online and print out the ticket, that will be entered into a raffle where you can win the Dr. Umar gift package. The gift package means you get a free Nat Turner t-shirt white, a free Nat Turner t-shirt red, a free book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, a free Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey poster, a free Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey button. So if you buy your ticket and print it out, you will be in the raffle, and that's for any lecture. Okay, brothers and sisters, I had to end the call. I had to end the call because the coons started. So if you have a question, call my phone directly. If you have a question, call my phone directly. My apologies to everyone who was on the line. My apologies, but the coons started. If you have a question, call my line. We still have 30 minutes left. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. Okay, if you have a question, you can call me directly. But again, print out your ticket and you might win the raffle. You get a free book, free Nat Turner t-shirt, the red one, free Nat Turner t-shirt, the white one, free poster, free FDMG button if you buy the ticket online and print it out. So if it was me, I would buy it online because if I win the raffle, I don't have to pay for my book. I don't have to pay for my t-shirts. I don't have to pay for my poster. So I recommend you buy it online and print it out. Okay? Any questions, call my cell phone. Right now, I'm still taking calls on the phone. Call my phone. Breakfast Club interview. I should be back on the Breakfast Club soon. I'm waiting for Charlemagne to give me a new date. Nashville, Tennessee, June the 23rd. Philadelphia, July 30th. I will be in Philadelphia speaking on July 30th. June 30. Philadelphia, June 30. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, homecoming, hometown lecture, June 30th. Dr. Umar Johnson speaking. Hello, this is Dr. Umar Johnson. Hello? Okay. Somebody called my phone and didn't say a word. So we have Philadelphia, June 30th, Charlotte, North Carolina, July 6th, Long Island, New York, July 14th, Long Island, New York, July 14th, Ghana, July 24th to the August 5th, Jacksonville, August 30th, Orlando, August 31st. Dr. Umar Johnson, with whom am I speaking?
This is Anthony Dorner from Memphis.
Brother Anthony from Memphis. Go right ahead, Brother Anthony.
I was trying to find out, Dr. Johnson, when are you going to give a lecture here in Memphis?
When am I going to give a lecture in Memphis? I'm probably going to be in Nashville June 23rd. I need help, Brother Anthony, finding a place in Memphis to have my lecture. I tried contacting the place where I held my last lecture in Memphis, and they didn't get back to me. So if you know of any place that I can rent, I don't want nothing white. It needs to be in the hood. It needs to be in our community. I don't want the Civic Center. I don't want the white theater. It needs to be black. So it needs to be a church, a community center, an event hall. I like to keep my stuff in the hood. So if you know of a place that I can use in Memphis, just text my phone with the person's or the name of the place and the phone number. You might even call them first to see, you know, if they allow lectures there, and then just text me the information and I'll take it from there.
Okay. Oh, Dr. Umar, I just want to say, I'm very impressed. I'm very proud of you for getting the message out right, for people to be black awareness, right, and black first, because we're going to take care of ourselves. Every other race take care of their self. We're going to take care of ourselves.
That's right. That's right, brother.
So I just want to call, right, I'm going to check out the place right around here, you know, in the black community, right. We have several churches here, right. Maybe we can do one there. So I'll check around, right. We're not pastor. We'll check around and see if we can get, you know, a venue for you to come and speak in Memphis.
Will do. Will do. Let me know, brother. Let me know.
Okay, Dr. Johnson, right. Like I said, peace and love to you. God bless you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Now, I'm seeing some of y'all post places. Y'all need to text them to me because I'm not going back through this feed. If you know of a place that I need to check, somebody just posted the Rosa Jackson Center in Macon. You need to text that to my phone, 215-989-9858. My phone line is open. You can call 215-989-9858. You are live with Dr. Umar Johnson. With whom am I speaking? You are live with Dr. Umar Johnson. With whom am I speaking?
Hi, this is Yamisha.
Peace and love, sister. What can I do for you? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Newark.
From Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah, I'm going to be at your...
The lecture today. All right, looking forward to seeing you. Did you have a question, my beautiful sister?
Yes, I was calling about, I had a 11-year-old. I had on a 15. She was in school. She's just several schools classified ADHD. They talking about putting on medication. I just wanted to know if there's anything I could do, you know, to help.
Okay, this is for your daughter?
Yes.
How old?
11.
What grade?
She's 6th grade. She'll be 12 next month.
Who specifically is saying that she has ADHD?
Taking her some psychiatrist. She's always getting into fights in school and doesn't want to do her work.
Okay. Fighting has nothing to do with ADHD. ADHD is inattention and hyperactivity. Fighting is more of a conduct disorder issue. But I don't want your daughter with any labels. Has she already been evaluated by a psychologist or psychiatrist? Does she already have a label?
Yeah.
Okay, when did she get that label? How long ago?
This year.
This year she got the label. Had we spoke sooner, I would have told you don't take your daughter for that evaluation. Is the school aware of this label?
Yes, but she's starting a new school next year.
Okay.
A charter school here in Newark.
She's starting a charter school in Newark. Is your daughter on medication?
No.
Okay, good. Don't put her on the meds. When she goes to the new school, do not mention anything about any evaluation or any ADHD. Do not mention it. In fact, you might even request, okay, did you give the school a copy of that outside evaluation that says she was ADHD?
The new school, no.
No. The current school. Do they have a copy of that evaluation?
Yes.
Okay, they do. I was hoping you didn't give it to them. Okay, you could request that they remove that from her permanent record before the school year ends. I would ask them, I would write a letter. And by the way, the federal law that allows you to request the removal of that evaluation is called FERPA. FERPA 1974. You might want to write it down. FERPA. FERPA 1974. And that's an acronym for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. FERPA 1974. You write a letter to the principal. There is an evaluation in my child's record that I don't agree with. I would like it removed from my child's record before she transfers to the new school.
Okay, I'm going to see when I see it later because I don't understand why I wouldn't want to evaluate her. She almost got arrested also.
But see, here's the
18
thing.
years old.
Okay, that's more of emotional and family-based issues. That doesn't have anything to do with ADHD, and I don't want her getting diagnosed with a conduct disorder for family and personal emotional issues that we need to deal with. See, we don't need to label our children. We need to address the problems. The white man just wants to label and drug. Labeling and drugging is not a solution. We want to address the problem. So when I see you today, pull me to the side during the book signing session and we'll talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, love. Thank you for the call. All right. The line is open, 215-989-9858. We have to stop labeling and drugging our children and address the problem. Special ed is not a solution. Ritalin is not a solution. ADHD is not a solution. Stop drugging and stop diagnosing, and we have to heal. We have to spiritually heal African children. Let's spiritually heal our African children. If you want to work at the school, email your resume to FDMGresumes@gmail.com. If you want to work at the school, email your resume to FDMGresumes@gmail.com. If you are a licensed plumber, licensed electrician, licensed HVAC, licensed roofer, if you are a licensed carpenter, if you are a painter, if you are a licensed sprinkler system implementer, if you're willing to come to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy and do an assessment of your system to help us get the school ready for our boys, text me at 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. I hope New York is coming out today. I hope my New York family isn't so lazy that they can't come to Newark, New Jersey. I hope my Connecticut family isn't so lazy that they can't come to Newark, New Jersey. I hope my Pennsylvania family isn't so lazy that they can't come to Newark. I want to see Staten Island today. I want to see the Boogie Down Bronx today. I want to see Brooklyn today. I want to see Long Island. I want to see Harlem. I want to see Queens in Newark today. The lines are open. You can call 215-989-9858. Any question at all. We only have 27 minutes left. And then I'm going to take a quick power nap and get ready for the event. Call my phone now if you have a question, any question, 215-989-9858. I just got a text from my good sister in Atlanta. She said, quote, Dr. Umar, these Negroes in Atlanta are jealous and they don't want to give you a venue. That can't be true because Atlanta loves Dr. Umar. Atlanta is Dr. Umar's #1 city. You're live with Dr. Umar. Who am I speaking to?
My name is Tyrese.
Sister Tyrese, peace and love. Where you calling from?
Peace and love, my black man. I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. What's on your mind today?
I have a young man, he's 9 years old, and his father in a court proceeding, and he's in a system. I have total rights to my son, and I recently the judge if I could have him emotionally or mentally evaluated.
Whoa. Who wanted, wait, time out. Who wanted your son emotionally evaluated? Who wanted that?
I wanted that for him.
Okay, you wanted him evaluated by the... Okay, for what purpose did you want that eval?
Because our relationship as far as conversation, he talks to me about a lot of things, and the judge has placed him with his father, but his father is not emotionally or spiritually or mentally really ready for that right now. It is guessing, and he does a lot of things that is not quite fair or right. My question is, I request from the judge that he sees a psychiatrist, and he declined. I denied him that.
I'm glad he did, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm
Okay.
glad he did, and I'm going to tell you why. What grade is your son in?
Third.
Okay. I'm glad he denied it. If that judge would have approved your request for a psychiatric or psychological evaluation that would have sucked your son into the Kansas City mental health exploitation system. And the reason I call it the mental health exploitation system is because they would have diagnosed your son with some nonsense. They would have wrote a prescription for some drugs, and you would have never been able to get him off them drugs because it would have been court ordered. I am glad the judge refused you. You don't need an evaluation to get therapy. I want to make sure y'all understand this. You don't need an evaluation to get counseling. If your son needs someone to talk to, if your son needs counseling, all you have to do is Google. Get on your cell phone and Google black counselors in Kansas. No. It has nothing to do with the judge. You can get, okay, your son's father has primary custody. Is that correct? Physical custody?
Yeah, he has residential.
Okay, so this is all you want from the judge. All you want from the judge is shared legal custody, and you want the judge to approve your request to get private counseling for your son. That's what you want. You don't want no court-ordered eval. You don't want an eval at all. You simply want the judge to approve your request to find a private black counselor or psychologist or social worker or therapist to work with your son. You don't want a psychiatrist. All they do is give out drugs. You don't want a psychiatrist. You want a psychologist, counselor, social, exactly. So ask the judge, basically, I need you to reword your request. You don't want an eval.
Okay.
You want counseling. And you want the judge to allow you to find a counselor and require the father to take your son to the counseling sessions. That's what we want.
Okay. Well, I do understand that. That may be what I need to do, reword what my request is. So basically, what I'm asking is not that he's evaluated, but that he has the right to speak.
Exactly.
The denial that I got, that I couldn't take him to the doctor. But I have all my rights. So I guess my question is that something that could be done?
Yes, absolutely.
I have all my rights to my child that
Absolutely.
I can't take him to the doctor?
Absolutely, you can get him to counseling because you got shared legal. But because the father might be resistant, you might need the judge to put it on paper. That's all. You just need the judge to issue an order. Yeah, that, pursuant to mom's request for psychological counseling, the court hereby, orders that the child see counseling by the person that the mom selects or by a person that mom and dad agrees upon. And if I were you, when I made my request, I would already have the person in mind. In other words, do your research now, find out who you're going to use. And what you can do is you can give the judge 3 different people that you like and say the father can choose the one that he's most comfortable with. It will really go over then because you're still giving the father some decision-making power. These are 3 counselors. I would like the father can choose the one. He can meet with all 3 and choose the one he thinks is best for our son.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate that.
No problem, Queen. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you. I want my second wife to have a son or 2. Okay? My second wife must have a son or 2 because I'm not having no more children. I think I'm done. So I want my second wife to already have a son or 2 who don't have their father. Okay? I want all of our sons to have their father, right? But we have black men who don't have fathers. So if there's a black woman with some sons, I want to raise a son. I've never had a chance to raise a son. I want to help raising a son. So if you got a son or 2, you will be given privilege in the Dr. Umar wifey selection. Send those wife resumes in. DrUmarJohnson@yahoo.com. Next question. The line is open. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. You can call in, brothers and sisters. Line is open. We got 20 minutes left. Any questions for me? Any Hotep questions? Any rumors? Any FDMG questions? Any psychoacademic Holocaust questions? You are live with Dr. Umar Johnson. With whom am I speaking?
Yes, hello, Mr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson. This is Abdul from Brooklyn, New York.
Peace and love, brother Abdul. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to know, I will be at tonight's event. Will you be doing a...
Say that again. Will I be doing...
Q&A?
Yes, we will be having a question and answer session today. We will be having a question and answer session today in Newark, New Jersey. Yes, we will.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Well, I look forward to being there.
See you soon, black man. Appreciate you. Peace and love, family. You live with Dr. Umar Johnson. Who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking to? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Texas.
Texas? Where at in Texas, brother? Where are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Houston.
Houston, Texas. You're the third Texas call this morning. Texan is buzzing for Dr. Umar. I got to get back to Texas. Shout out to my Houston family. Shout out to my Longview family. Shout out to, I need to do a lecture in San Antonio, and I need to do a lecture in Austin. I haven't been to Austin and San Antonio in a long time, and I need to get on back to Houston too. But go right ahead, brother. What's on your mind today?
We need you to get back to Houston, sir, before you end the tour. Yes, sir. One thing, though, I know you've been a lot of busy, you know, been very busy and doing everything, but I really never was able to speak on it. You probably didn't want to speak on it, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on Dr. Nipsey.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle.
Situation. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you feel on that? Because it's looking very, it doesn't look like no regular gangbang stuff.
No. I believe
Yes, sir.
that Nipsey Hussle murder was a professionally orchestrated hit. Okay. And I believe that, just like the white man always does, he finds somebody jealous of us. He always uses a black hand. It's a white command, but it's a black hand. It's a white command, but it's a black hand. And I believe that they found someone who was jealous of Nipsey, brother who rode with him. It's always the Judas factor. It is always the Judas factor. It is always the Judas factor. And I believe they simply used him to carry out the hit. Okay, it was a black hand that pulled the trigger, but it was a white command. And I am still of the opinion that it may have been a music industry assassination. I believe that Nipsey Hussle's vertical integration music strategy to sell and distribute his music caused a lot of panic in the music industry. And if Nipsey Hussle been able to integrate his vertical integration music distribution and sales platform, that could have cost the music industry billions of dollars, especially if he turned other black artists onto that vertical integration platform. The music industry could not afford for Nipsey Hussle to implement his vertical integration distribution platform. They could not. That would have totally cut the majors out of the money. And I believe the music industry, just like they took out Biggie in LA, took out Pac in LA, they killed Michael Jackson, they killed Sam Cooke, they killed Jimi Hendrix, they killed Prince, they killed Whitney Houston. I believe the music industry killed Nipsey. Until I get a better explanation, I believe it was the music industry.
Yes, sir, because it doesn't look, it seems very regular. And one more question, Dr. Umar, before you get off. I've been following you for a minute, sir, and a lot of your talking points, I hear the ADOS talking. I wonder why you guys are not, of course you don't have to work with each other, you both doing your own work, both moving forward, that's the main thing. But it's like, I guess why you don't get a nod from each other, because a lot of your talking points about the immigrants coming over, taking our place, and y'all voting for this, that's basically what they're doing. From what I've seen so far, but it's not like the vice of the continental Africans, because it's some of them that's aligning with it and some that's not. But I just want to get your take on that. Why do you feel like there's an opposition to us as a whole because of what they're trying to do?
Okay. ADOS, I respect them. Okay, our issues are ideological, they're not personal. Our issues are ideological, I'm not personal. But I would beg to differ with your point that we have a lot in common, because we don't. I don't see African immigrants as any problem for me whatsoever. There are only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. There are only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. Not to mention the fact that we are all from Africa. We are all of African origin. So those Africans that are in America, those 3 million immigrant Africans, they might be my cousins. They might be my aunts and uncles. We may literally be from the same village back home. We may literally be from the same clan. We may literally be from the same ethnic nation. Why would I separate myself from my own blood, kith, and kin? Why would I do that in order to ingratiate myself to my slave master so I can beg him for reparations? That doesn't make any sense. The reparation struggle does not require us to disassociate from our African identity. The reparation struggle does not need us to disidentify from our African brothers and sisters around the world.
Can I say one thing quick?
Sure.
Please.
But let me finish. Let me finish, and then I'm gonna let you respond. I'm not done, but I got you, brother. I'm gonna let you respond. So that's number one. There is nothing in the reparations movement strategically that requires you to disidentify from your Africanity. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Had I not known who was behind this movement, I would have clearly assumed that it was a CIA front group. Because at a time when Ghana is reaching out to Africans in the diaspora, at a time when most African nations are reaching out to Africans in the diaspora, we are dealing with the quadricentennial, we are dealing with the year of return, we are dealing with Pan-African consciousness at the highest level it's been since the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey was with us. And then all of a sudden, with Africans uniting all around the world, a movement pops up out of nowhere and says, disassociate from your brothers and sisters because they're robbing you of your opportunity to get resources from your slave master. That's ridiculous. And let me say why it's ridiculous before I let you respond. Who has stolen more from black people? African immigrants or the homosexual movement? Who has stolen more from black people? African immigrants or the illegal Mexican immigrants? Who has stolen more from black people? African immigrants or the feminists? Who have stolen more from black people? African immigrants or white women? Who have stolen more from black people? African immigrants or the racist criminal justice system, or the racist mental health system, or the racist education system, or the racist economic system? African immigrants are not my problem. White supremacy is my problem. There was one slave trade, so there should be one reparations, and anyone that wants to divide me against my brothers and sisters, whether they are from the Caribbean, Bahamas, I will see you in November. Whether they are from South America, Brazil, I will see you in November. Whether they are from Europe, Brussels, Belgium, I will see you September 6th. Whether they are in Africa, Senegal, I will see you August. Zambia, I will see you October. Where else am I going? In Ghana, I will see you in July. Anyone who wants to separate me from our brothers and sisters around the world is an enemy of Pan-Africanism. They are an enemy of my ancestors, and they are an enemy of African people. There is no way I can sit down at a table and collaborate with any organization that seeks to cause tribalism amongst the African family. Your response?
Yes, sir. I'm in Houston. I'm in really the most diverse city in America right now. And Nigerians, that little African presence, been in Houston for a minute. They always been isolated from us. Always, you know, they never aligned themselves with us. Always been isolated towards us. They always had their own thing going on. So, and it wasn't that we pushed them away because mama, like I grew up in a non-denominational church. It's Christian. We all love everybody. So it wasn't like we was pushing the continent for Africans away. They never cohabitated. They never really fellowship with us in no aspect of life. So that's why I understand what you're saying. If more of them thought like that come over here or that's in America, it would be great. But a lot of Africans come, they don't think like you think. They're not saying what you're saying.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you, my brother.
But they don't come over here and they come over here and allow themselves for white supremacy.
Right. I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you that you have African coons in the United States. I agree with you. But you also, yes, but hear me. You're correct. There are African coons in the United States who think they're better than you, who think they're different from you, who think they don't want anything to do with you. You are correct. But guess what? You have African American coons who think they're better than Africans, who don't want anything to do with Africans. The point that I am making is that what you are describing is true for all African groups. We all have those reactionary Negroes within our community. But guess what? We also have progressive-minded Africans in America. I know this because I work with them. You got progressive African Americans. You got progressive African Caribbeans. You got progressive African Europeans. You got progressive African South Americans. Why are we judging an entire group of our family by the actions of a few? Do you understand how hard it is for an African to get into America in the first place? Are you aware that America only allows a certain type of African to come to this country in the first place? Are you aware that when slavery ended, one of the first acts of Congress was to limit the amount of Africans who could come into America? America ain't crazy about African immigrants. They're simply exploiting them to build relationships with African countries so they can steal the resources. They're simply exploiting them so they can use their intellectual talent to build America's corporations. That's all that is. It is an intellectual brain drain. The Africans in America are not representative of the African consciousness on the continent, my brother. Don't judge a continent of 1 billion people by the actions of 3 million. Don't judge a continent of 1 billion people by the actions of 3 million. We cannot afford to play divide and conquer at this stage of our struggle. We need every last one of us. World War III will be a war of African people against everybody else. We're going to have to fight the Chinese, the Arabs, the Mexicans, the East Indians, the Anglo-Saxons all at once. World War III is a fight to bring back African global supremacy. That's why we need all of our brothers and sisters. The ones that are coons, we can leave them alone, but we got to make sure we're not throwing away good people. We got to make sure we're not throwing away good people, my brother. Please rethink that position. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
Yes, sir. Just one thing was, Dr. Umar, just whatever, put that Houston in your schedule, sir. That was it. That's it.
Oh, yes, sir. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen, black man. We're going to make it happen. Appreciate you. We got 10 minutes left. The lines is open. We got 10 minutes left. It's going down. Newark, New Jersey, 4 o'clock. Doors at 2. Newark Tech. Bring the children. Babies are free. Print out your ticket for the Dr. Papa gift raffle. Call my phone if you have a question. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. I got a question about African Latinos. I'm going to Brazil in November. I'm going to the largest African community outside of Africa, Brazil. Okay. I love my African Latinos. Who knows? My wife might be African Rican. She might be African Cuban. She might be African Dominican. She might be African whatever. Peace and love, family. You live with Dr. Umar. Who am I speaking with? You're breaking up, family. You're breaking up. Hang up and dial back. Peace and love. You're live with Dr. Umar Johnson. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Hello? Going once? Going twice? Are you there? Okay, when I pick up the phone, you need to speak. The line is open, 215-989-9858. You're live with Dr. Umar Johnson. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Abdul again. I'm sorry, I have one more question.
Sure, go right ahead.
I remember you in the past talking about to support each other, have our own businesses, and how we're not getting jobs because a lot of them are going to the Mexicans and the immigrants.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of them are going to the Mexican immigrants, and that is all true. But I think there's another threat, and I don't know if you're going to talk about it to us, and that's automation. And in a sense that, we have, robots taking us. So let's just say if we start building our own car wash, are we really going to hire a lot of black people, or we're going to get a robot to do it so that owner can profit, or have our own restaurants? Are we going to have a lot of black waiters or chefs, or we're going to have robots to do it? So how would we address that challenge with automation? I know we have threats when it comes to other, immigrants willing to work for less. How do we address that in the world of automation, which is really taking over a lot of jobs?
That's a great question. Here's how I would respond. I'm not totally against automation, okay? But I think we need to evaluate it and limit our usage of it, okay? We are fundamentally a collectivist people as Africans. We are fundamentally...
We're consumers and not producers, yeah.
Yes, but we're also collectivists, meaning we do things as a family. We're collective. We do everything as a family for the benefit of the family. Because of that, I think that we would largely not employ automation on a large scale because it would eliminate jobs. So, for example, if I open up a car wash, being a Pan-Africanist, I would have to hire our people as opposed to using the machine. The machine would save me money, but it would rob the community of its economy because our people need to eat. When everybody got jobs, families function better. When people got jobs, crime are down. When people got jobs, drug abuse is less. You follow? So if I care about the community, I'm going to hire people, okay, which would increase my overhead. But I'm investing in the community, as opposed if I go with automation using the robots, I'm making more money, but my community is suffering. So I think collectively as a people, we don't have to be totally against automation, but we do have to limit it to make sure our people can feed their families.
Well, hopefully it happens, because a lot of people, I think, would own the store be like, whoa, I see a machine doing it. That's more money for me. So I guess it'll have to take all of us.
Yes, it would have to take all of us. It got to be systematic. If it's not systematic, it's not going to work. In fact, that's why we struggle, black man, because we don't have anything. Nothing is done in the black community systematic. You can't. The only thing we do systematic in the black community is vote Democrat.
Exactly.
That's the other thing we do systematically in the black community is we waste our money.
And right now, I know the media is trying to get everyone to go with Joe Biden.
Yeah, black folks can't wait to go vote. See, here's the thing about that. And here's the thing about that. Black people love distractions and we love entertainment. If you can distract me from my responsibilities and my reality, and if you can entertain me, I will love you. The church distracts, the church entertains. The Democratic Party distracts, the Democratic Party entertains. The black conscious community, the fake woke YouTube movement, they love to distract and they entertain. They're not building anything. They're not changing anything. They're not buying any institutions. They're not doing no nation building. It is all distraction and entertainment, because that's what black people love.
Oh, all that is true, but I have to say this, and I have to give our people a lot of credit, because I remember the last days in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. I think Jay-Z had a concert in Cleveland, and so many black people, it was like the last minute of the fourth quarter at the very end. So many black people saw that as an insult. Obviously, they didn't go for Donald Trump, but they just decided to stay home. And this one right here, I'm very shocked. You have Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, and you're going to Cory Booker's hometown today. And so many people see through those two. And, you know, I'm not, you know, and a lot of them are just like, they feel the fakeness. They feel the fakeness from those two, from Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. You know, they just did. So, you know, I mean, I guess that's a start. Obviously, I remember what you said, we need a black political union. It might be way after our generation before we get there, and I'm definitely for that. But hey, I'm kind of glad that when we see people like Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, we're not like, oh, black person, Democratic Party, and we're not just looking for joy. You know, so, you know, at least that's a step. You agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, brother.
And who knows, maybe I think secretly a lot of it has to do with you. You know, so keep it up.
No doubt. I appreciate you, black man. All right, now.
All right, I'll see you tonight.
Will do.
Thank you for taking my question.
No
All
doubt.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Resumes, FDMGResumes at Gmail. FDMGResumes at Gmail. Wifey resumes, DrUMAR Johnson at Yahoo. Wifey resumes, DrUMAR Johnson at Yahoo. Peace and love. You are live with Dr. Umar Johnson. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Dr. Umar Johnson. From Los Angeles. How are you, sir?
Peace and love, black man. I'm looking for a venue in Los Angeles. So if you know of any spots, let a brother know. I'm looking for a venue in Oakland, and Los Angeles, and Sacramento. Those are the 3 spots. I'm looking for a venue. Go right ahead.
Brother, I've been waiting for you to get out here. Otherwise, I've been trying to find a trip plan. This year's up, because I know you're not doing it anymore in 2020. So, but my first to you is, you already answered my first question, but my second question, I just wanted your opinion, you know, with the Facebook announcement this week, how they're blocking a lot of our prominent leaders. Just your thoughts on that, and have you had any concerns with, you know, them maybe blocking you or what have you? And that's basically my question.
Got you. I think that was very disrespectful, and it was an insult for them to block Minister Louis Farrakhan. I did not appreciate that. But I would say this. We always have to look for the silver lining in the cloud. And to me, social network has harmed us more than helped us as a people. As much as I love the fact that social network has saved me tens of thousands of dollars in marketing and advertising, I don't have to pay for marketing. I could just drop a flyer and it'll take care of itself. I love that. But at the end of the day, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat has done more to do what? Distract and entertain. We're not using these platforms to organize because we haven't organized anything. We're not using these platforms to invest because we haven't invested in anything. We're not using these platforms to build. No, we use these platforms for gossip, sensationalism, character assassination, and entertainment. So if they ban all of the conscious people off of social media, that would be a blessing. That would be a blessing. I don't want them banning Minister Farrakhan in isolation. But if they said we're getting rid of everyone who ascribes to a black consciousness, we're taking all of them off, that would be good. You know why? Because that would force us to get in the same room and work together. That would force us to put the phones and the laptops down and come together and organize like we used to do. That would force us to go back to our black study groups, which were destroyed by YouTube. YouTube destroyed the black study group movement. So guess what? I'm not against it as long as they do it systematically. If they're just going to cherry pick Minister Farrakhan, cherry pick the Prince of Pan-Africanism, cherry pick Claude Anderson, cherry pick Queen Afua, then I got a problem with it. Okay, but if they're going to systematically wipe us out off of social network, good, because that will force us to go back to the streets and organize the way we used to.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know, my mother and I, we sit and have a listening session, go over all your YouTube channels, and, you know, we just newly into you about 2 months in, and I've just been having instead of a Netflix and chill, I've been having a YouTube and chill, just going through everything, and I've learned so much. I really appreciate you. You know, I'm donating to your school, and I can't wait to get out there instead, and much blessings to you and success.
Thank you, black man. Thank you, black man. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Blessings.
All right.
Today. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
God bless. I'm going to take about 2-3 more calls. Then I'm going to end it. Need to get something in my stomach. Where those black restaurants in Newark at? We got any black soul food in Newark? Somebody talk to me. Jersey, I'm in the building. Peace and love. You are live with Dr. Umar Johnson. With whom am I speaking?
Hey, Dr. Umar, this is Letitia, calling from Covington, Georgia.
Covington, Georgia. How far is Covington from Atlanta?
It's about 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes. Y'all got any spots out there I could use for a lecture on Sunday, June 2nd, my queen?
I don't know. There's a big church out here, the Springfield Church.
Why don't you call them up? Call them up and ask the pastor if he would mind if Dr. Umar come and do a lecture once their service is over Sunday afternoon.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Sure.
What was your question, love?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Tiffany Moss case down here in Atlanta, Georgia.
No, I'm not. What happened?
The black woman who got sentenced to lethal injection for starving her stepdaughter to death. Basically, she was abusing the stepdaughter and
lethal injection.
Yeah, lethal injection.
Did they take her life already? Did they take her life?
No, they said that, I guess they're going to do it the beginning of June.
When was she sentenced?
She was sentenced earlier this week.
You got to send me some texts on that. Send me some links. If you could text me some links, I would like to read on that. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, and what's crazy about the case is that she had no representation. She refused representation for her. I guess she had, what they call them, just some people on standby. But she didn't represent herself at all. You know, when there was witnesses came up on the stand, she didn't question them. And then I read also in the article that sometime last year, the prosecutor and I guess her legal aid or the team that was on standby, there was a meeting that was held, I guess, talk about her mental, that she supposedly had like a neuropsychological testing done.
And what did they find? Did they find that neurologically she was impaired?
Yeah, they said that she had some brain damage, some like functional brain damage and all that, and but the judge ruled that she was still capable of representing herself. And I guess they also had like a psychological test. I guess the state did a psychological test of their own, and they found that she was mentally capable of representing herself. So the judge, basically agreed to, for her to just go ahead and still represent herself.
Wait a minute. She represented herself?
Yeah, she didn't have no lawyers.
She didn't have a public defender?
No, I think the public defenders were like sort of like on standby, like if she needed to, speak with them or get counsel. But during the whole case, she didn't have nobody. It was just her.
Wow, this don't sound wow. This
and then then now they took the death sentence on her, and I just found that to just I'm not condoning what she did.
Me either. But if she had a mental impairment, if she had a mental impairment, then she's a victim as well.
Right, exactly. And then the husband, the actual father of the little girl, he testified against her. Basically saying that it was all her.
Oh, man.
She's the one who was doing the abusing. And, he helped her, try to set the girl's body on fire. Like, he had a hand in it. But at the same time, he was basically blaming her. Like, she was the mastermind behind everything. And she was the one starving her and abusing her and all this. And basically, he got away with, I think he just got life in prison without parole. But he escaped the death penalty by testifying against her. But me, I believe that honestly, that he probably was the mastermind behind it, and she could have been just a victim because, she just wasn't right. She was just sitting there, something ain't right with the girl. But,
is this you with the 850 area code, Queen?
No, I have the 470.
Okay, somebody's texting me some links to the story you're talking about, I believe. But go ahead and continue. I'm listening.
Yeah, so, and then now she got the lethal injection, there's a lot of cases out there, especially, white people's cases, that don't even get the death penalty, even more heinous crimes than what she committed. And I just feel like this is just the beginning of, they're putting a black face on this issue, as far as the lethal injection. I feel like there's something, coming down the pipeline with this and, sentence people to death and everything. And it was just so ironic. I had just watched your video it was about the OJ case, and you was also talking about the other genocide cases, but, Stephon Clark and all that, and you was breaking down all the statistics about, the white versus the black people and how they're punished, according to their crimes. And, I just had listened to that video, and you was talking about the lethal, just people being sentenced to death, and it was just crazy. Then I heard about this case, and I'm just like, damn, like, this case just didn't sit right with me. Being that, she was wrong, but at the same time, I don't think that being just how the case was presented, not having representation. And another question I had was, could a judge, being that this was a capital murder case, could a judge, I don't understand why the law that, will allow anybody to represent themselves, especially with a murder case in this situation. I feel like that should even be against the law to even...
Yeah, it might be more to the story. I guess I'm wondering, where's her family at? Like, where's the family? Like, why are they not advocating for her?
Yeah, nobody, I read an article, she had her mother. Her mother was, here, but I didn't hear anything what she said or, try to advocate on her behalf, knowing something's wrong with her daughter. Nobody's, saying anything about it. A lot of people agreeing with the death penalty issue, but, I just feel like there's more to this, and it's just ain't right,
I feel you. Well, keep me posted, Queen. Keep me posted. Send me some links on that, and
okay.
Let me look into that. And I wish I could speak with somebody in the family too.
Yeah.
But yeah, send me some links. I'm gonna see what I can do.
Okay. All right. Well,
Appreciate
congratulations
you,
on the school. I hope if get up and running this sometime soon.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Make sure you see your donations in, Queen. We need them.
Okay, will do.
All right.
Okay.
God bless you. All right now.
All right. Thanks.
Make sure y'all send y'all donations in. Send your donations in. FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Go to the Cash app, cash.me/$FDMG school. Good morning. You're live with the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, yes, this is Lauren. Good morning.
Peace and love, Sister Lauren. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just had a quick question about my son. He's in first grade. He is a repeat first grader, and I kind of been struggling with. He's like not a bad student, but now they keep pushing the fact to get him evaluated because
They said he what?
They said that he's not a bad student, but he kind of like his imagination never stops. He can't pay attention in class. And I also hired a tutor to come to the house, and she said the same thing when she's working with him. He kind of like his imagination always going, like it never stops. Even when his dad works with him, he always imagine. I don't know what he's thinking about, but he's not a bad kid. He's just always thinking about something. Like we cut TV off, we put him to bed earlier than usual. I read books for him before he go to bed. So at this point, I don't know if it's like maybe something really is wrong with him, or it's just him being like a kid. And he's the only child, like, and grandchild. He was spoiled, like, from a baby. Everybody handed everything to him, so.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. This is about discipline. This is not about disability. This is about discipline. This is not about disability. All y'all need to do is crack down on the discipline. Where is the behavior plan? When he doesn't do well in school, what are the consequences at home? When he does well in school, what are the rewards at the end of the week? You should also press the teacher. Press the teacher. What are your rewards and consequences in your classroom? What are you doing to help my son improve the way he behaves? Okay, y'all can handle this yourself. He's too young to be getting evaluated. First of all, there's nothing special that can do for your son's imagination. Having an imagination is a good thing. Having an imagination is a good thing. Then wanting to evaluate for that, I want to know what their recommendation is. There's nothing special that can do. Your son's supposed to have an active imagination. I'm glad he has an active imagination. Now the distraction is a problem, but we can cure the distraction with some discipline. And the fact that y'all spoiled him, y'all got to really crack down on him. Y'all have to crack down on him. Y'all have to crack down on him in order to get him out of that spoiledness, because he's used to getting his way. That's the problem. He's used to getting his way, but y'all can break him out of that. Y'all can break him out of that, and the time is now. The time is now. That's all this is some discipline. Do not sign permission for them to evaluate your child. Do not sign permission for them to evaluate your child. He is too young for that. Remember, the evaluations that we do and the disabilities that we classify cannot be proven to exist. You cannot prove a learning disability. You cannot prove ADHD. You can't prove them. They are professional opinions. Your son is too young. Stay away from the evaluations.
Okay. And I have one more question, because I know this is like your last time touring. Are you coming back to Houston?
Yes, I'm definitely going to be coming back to Houston. I'm just waiting now to get the date. So I'm definitely going to be coming back to Houston, and it'll probably be this summer. So, you know, just stay up on my social networks, because, you know, I post everything on those. So whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. But, yeah, I'm working on Houston now.
Perfect. Okay. I was like, oh, no, he's not coming, but that's good. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Oh, and one more thing I want to mention. At one point, we did do homeschooling.
Okay.
With him, it was actually helpful. It was just getting really expensive, but we definitely did try homeschooling as well. So
okay.
I didn't know if you think that was a good idea.
Sure. As long as you're organized and focused and consistent, and you got some academic teachers that can coach you along the process, I think that can work.
Yeah, so I definitely want to be behind. Okay. Well, thank you. That's all I had today. You enjoy your morning, King.
All right. Thank you, love. Enjoy yours as well. God bless.
Thank you.
All right. Peace and love. You're live with Dr. Umar Johnson. Who am I speaking with?
Tanika from Nashville.
Peace and love. Nashville. What's the name again? Tanika. What's going on, love?
I wanted to give you information about where you can speak at for the venue in Memphis,
Sure.
in South Memphis.
Sure.
The place is called the Stax Museum, and I can get the information from you. I just can't get I don't know how I'll be able to get the information to you.
I'm going to give you my cell number. Are you able to take it down?
Yes,
It's 215
Yes.
989
Yes.
9858.
Okay. And what I'll do is I'll I'll either text you the information or I'll call back again once I call to see if I can get the venue set up. I'm going to call on Monday morning.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be excellent.
Also, I had another question because I noticed that you stated that you were coming to Nashville June 23rd. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's not etched in stone, but it's looking real good, which means I would like to do Memphis probably. Nashville is a Sunday, so I probably want to do Memphis on Friday or Saturday, the 21st or 22nd.
Okay, because do you put those updates on your website often? Because you said something about...
Not on the website, but on the social networks. I post them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay, then I will look at that. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll look into the information for Stax Museum, and then I'll get you that info.
Appreciate you, sister. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, love. Take care. All right, brothers and sisters, that's it. That is it. I know the calls are still coming in. We'll do this again sometime soon, but I need to get ready to do what I do. So Newark, it's going down today. Newark Tech, first visit since 2017, Black History Month. Tickets at the door or online. But if you buy them online and come with the ticket, you will be entered into the free raffle to get one of everything free from Dr. Umar. Brother Johnny from DTR Books will be in the building. Also, my good brother Malik Thorne will be selling food. He will be selling food today in Newark. If you are a vendor and you want to come and vend today, I got a couple spots, but you got to text me. You cannot show up. I do not do walk-in vendors. I do not do walk-up vendors. You can text me if you want to vend today. What else? Doors at 2, opening acts at 4. Hartford, Connecticut, Sunday, May 19th. Get your tickets, DrUmarJohnson.com for Hartford, Connecticut, Malcolm X birthday, 94th Malcolm X birthday, Sunday, May the 19th, Artist Collective. 4 o'clock, doors at 2. Selma, Alabama, the Center for Nonviolence, Truth, and Reconciliation. Sunday, May the 26th at 1 and 7. That's free. All you got to do is show up, get there early. It's a Dr. Papa debut. It's going to be crazy at the birth of the Civil Rights Movement, birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement. Wilmington, Delaware, site of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Please register for the National Independent Black Parent Association Training Conference, June 8th, June 9th, Saturday and Sunday. June 8th, June 9th, Saturday and Sunday. $100 for both days total. Register now, DrUmarJohnson.com. I love y'all. Keep me in your prayers. God bless. Peace and Black Power.